The 2026 election in Thailand has been recalled as one of the most doubted elections of all time. That being said, is because going to the point where vote buying and all the other sketchy activities, we're not going to talk about that because we're not going to accuse anybody. But let's start with a very, very simple question that contradicts with the 2017 Constitution, which is, according to Articles 85, stately clears that in electing MPs, whether it's constituency MPs, constituency บอกว่าเขตเลือกตั้งนะครับ or party list MPs, the election process must be in person and disclosed, meaning that you can't show people who you voted for. That being said, is to prevent vote buying, because if you could vote for somebody and you show that person who's going to be paying you that you already elected for that candidate, that's corruption, right? So basically, it has to be disclosed. It has to be a secret. The question that arose today at the Election Commission was that whether the barcodes that were clearly printed on these election ballots, both at the ต้นขั้วภาษาอังกฤษเรียกว่า the ต้นขั้ว at the top of ไม่ต้นขั้วภาษาอังกฤษว่าไงวะ what at the เดี๋ยวถามokay towards the top of the form, towards the top booklet, and the part which is the actual ballot that you will have to make your mark and put in the ballot box. From that day on, they will be departed and separated and never again to be seen together. Because if that is the case, if they happen to come back together, then you will be able to trace which individual voted for which candidate or which party, which contradicts with the Constitution. And then comes the ballot stump. Okay, the ballot stump นะครับคราวนี้มันก็จะมีเดี๋ยวพระราชบัญญัติประกอบเดี๋ยวนี้รู้ organic law เขาเรียกว่า organic law นะครับ so that being said, there is another law that prohibits anybody from intentionally making marks on their ballots, because that again would act as a receipt. When somebody does the vote counting and says, oh, there's a little mini heart towards the end, oh, that must be that house which I paid 1,000 baht for, check, okay, you get the cash. So it clearly states, according to Article 96 of the Organic Law, กฎหมายลูกว่าด้วยพระราชบัญญัติเกี่ยวกับการเลือกพระราชบัญญัติประกอบรัฐธรรมนูญว่าด้วยการเลือกตั้งสส it says you can't make any marks. So the question today is, there are two big questions that every single Thai taxpayer must ask the Election Commission of Thailand, otherwise known as ECT. One, are these QR codes or these barcodes legit? Are they clearly marks which can identify each individual ballot? That's the first question. And question number two is whether or not being able to trace back through these barcodes will be able to identify the person who signed their name and who they marked for. Because if that matches, then ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the shit to hit the fan. อันนี้แปลว่าชิบหายฉายที่นี่ครับคุณจอมขวัญครับ shit hits the fan เพราะว่านั่นคือเป็นการผิดรัฐธรรมนูญอย่างรุนแรง and then you ask, who will be the person to decide whether these acts are considered contradictory to the Constitution? I present to you the Constitutional Court, and I end it there. ผมจบแค่นี้พี่